shocking revelations in the Shraddha murder case continue despite of course days of the heinous crime taking place. Aftab Amin Poonawala, the prime accused in the Shraddha Walkar murder case, has made more stunning, shocking and grisly revelations during the polygraph test, which has concluded after a week of tests. According to reports, Aftab has stated that even if he is hanged for the murder of Shraddha, he would not be sorry, since he will be remembered as a hero when he enters paradise and will be offered, believe it or not, this is according to sources, hoors in Jannat. Now, Aftab has also admitted reportedly to having affairs with over 20 women during his relationship with Shraddha. According to a report, Aftab said he didn't feel bad about killing Shraddha and mutilating her body. He allegedly told the police that his plan was to kill Shraddha and slice her up in Mumbai. The police have now recovered 5 knives from Aftab's residence, which they believe were likely used to mutilate her body. The police seeks to establish more findings following the narco test. Cops are also on the lookout for remaining body parts of the victim. All this information coming in from our sources, our reporters really bringing us all this information from their sources in the Delhi government. Really, what do these revelations tell us? One, about the mind of the criminal. Do they also somehow show that it was a pre-planned murder and not a crime of passion, as Aftab and his lawyer would have us believe? And the polygraph test, the narco test, its findings are not admissible in a court as an evidence. So what does it mean for the Delhi police? How will it really help them crack the case? We'll discuss all of this and more. For that, I'd like to welcome a panel of experts, starting with Ved Bhushan, former ACP, Barkhat Rehan, she's a women's rights activist, Dr. Pankaj Kumar, psychiatrist, also with us, Yogita Bayana, women's rights activist, with us, advocate Shams Ravish Rain, lawyer from the Supreme Court of India, also with us. I welcome all of you and thank you for joining us really on the broadcast. I'm going to start first of all with Mr. Rao, former ACP, sir. What do you really think and make of these grisly, shocking revelations which are being made by Aftab during his polygraph and narco test? And also, for the benefit really for our audiences, for our viewers, help us understand, how does the polygraph test help the Delhi police? End of the day, it's not an evidence which is admissible in the court, but how does it help the police when it comes to inquiry, investigation and gathering scientific evidence against the accused? Because end of the day, this case needs to be proved in the court of law, and the police needs to prove it not only beyond reasonable doubt, but also prove that it wasn't a crime of passion. It was a premeditated murder, sir. Ved Bhushan, sir, can you please hear us? If you can, would you like to take this question, sir?
Okay. I got your question. ये एविडेंस की जहां तक वैल्यू है, पॉलीग्राफ टेस्ट और नार्को टेस्ट की नो डाउट अपने आप में कोई एविडेंस वैल्यू नहीं है, बट 27 एविडेंस एक्ट सेज कि यदि कोई फैक्ट की रिकवरी होती है या कोई वेपन ऑफ ऑफेंस मिलता है, व्हाटएवर रिकवरी इज मेड, वो 100% एडमिसिबल है बिफोर कोर्ट. तो इसलिए इट्स ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट केस. एंड फॉर योर व्यूअर्स, पॉलीग्राफ टेस्ट में बिल्कुल एक कॉन्शियस पोजीशन में होता है, कोई ड्रग्स, कोई किसी तरह का उसको सर्व नहीं किया जाता, परंतु नार्को एनालिसिस टेस्ट में वो सेमी कॉन्शियस पोजीशन में होता है या उसका ब्रेन के ऊपर कंट्रोल नहीं होता, क्योंकि इस तरह की उसको ट्रुथ सीरम दिया जाता है. तो दोनों की एक इंपॉर्टेंस है, क्योंकि सेम क्वेश्चनर सेम एक्यूज के ऊपर अप्लाई किए जाते हैं और ये चेक करते हैं इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग ऑफिसर्स और जो डॉक्टर्स की टीम है कि किस क्वेश्चन के जवाब में जब कॉन्शियस पोजीशन में था उसने क्या जवाब दिया और जब अनकॉन्शियस पोजीशन में से क्या जवाब दिया. ये एक लीड एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए होती है कि प्रीवियस जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन है वो सही डायरेक्शन में थी या अभी इसमें और डायरेक्शन चेंज करने की जरूरत है. जैसे उसने ड्यूरिंग इंट्रोगेशन ये पता लगा जो फिंग रिंग थी उसने अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड को दे दी थी, जो नई गर्लफ्रेंड थी, जब उसको मारने के बाद में उसकी फिंगर से दे दी थी. इसी तरह जो नाइफ की रिकवरी थी जो पहले नहीं हो पा रही थी, उसने बताया कि मैंने उसी फॉरेस्ट में फेंकी है. पुलिस ने उसको दोबारा जाके फॉरेस्ट में सर्च किया तो इट वाज ए रिकवरी. तो ये बिल्कुल एक एविडेंस, ये जो मिली है वो बिल्कुल एक क्लिंचिंग एविडेंस है और कोर्ट इसको मानेगी, क्योंकि बिकॉज इससे साइंटिफिक टेस्ट, क्योंकि ये बिफोर डॉक्टर्स के किया गया है और एक कोर्ट की परमिशन के बाद लिया गया है। और अब सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि आफ्ताब की परमिशन, कोर्ट ने कंसेंट उसकी ली है, उसके बाद ये अलाउड किया है, क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने हेल्ड किया है कि बॉडी को एक्यूज की परमिशन के बिना उसकी बॉडी से आप कोई भी एविडेंस कलेक्ट नहीं कर सकते। तो सारा विद ए ड्यू प्रोसेस ऑफ लॉ, सारा जितना भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन हुई है ये इसको बहुत मजबूती देती है। और डायरेक्शन इन्वेस्टिगेशन, क्योंकि अभी बहुत दिन तक इन्वेस्टिगेशन की जानी है, 90 डेज तक का टाइम है, क्योंकि 10 ईयर्स से ज्यादा कन्विक्शन है, इसलिए 90 डेज तक पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेट कर सकती है। मोर ओवर, जब वो जुडिशियल कस्टडी में है तब भी उसको बहुत सी चीजों से कन्फ्रंट कराया जा सकता है, विटनेसेस हैं या दूसरे उसके जो साथी हैं उनको भी जेल में ले जाकर विद द अप्रूवल ऑफ द कोर्ट, क्योंकि अब पुलिस कस्टडी रिमांड इज ओवर, दैट वाज 14 डेज ओनली। बट अब इन्वेस्टिगेशन में जो तमाम जो चीजें और ट्रुथ निकल कर आएंगे, जो भी पुलिस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन में, चाहे बॉम्बे से कुछ चीजें निकल गए हैं, जैसे 2020 का उसका एक लेटर पुलिस ने ड्यूरिंग इन्वेस्टिगेशन मिला पुलिस को, पुलिस उसके हैंड राइटिंग एक्सपर्ट से चेक कराएगी कि वेदर इट वाज रिटन बाय श्रद्धा और अदरवाइज। तो ये तमाम जो कनेक्टिंग और सर्कमस्टांशियल एविडेंसेज हैं धीरे धीरे पुलिस कलेक्ट कर रही है, और इससे लॉन्ग प्रोसेस, तमाम जो कड़ियां हैं, मिसिंग लिंक्स है, उनको कनेक्ट करना है। जैसे स्कल है, अभी उसका स्कल नहीं मिल पाया है, तो पुलिस कोशिश करेगी कि उस स्कल को कहीं ना कहीं से रिकवर हो जाए, तो इट विल बी मोर स्ट्रांग, क्योंकि जो स्कल है उसको पूरा एक साइंस लेबोरेटरीज के अंदर उसको डेवलप किया जाएगा, उसको शेप दी जाएगी, तो पता लगेगा कि ये श्रद्धा का ही फेस था। तो तमाम जो मिसिंग लिंक्स हैं उनको काम फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स करने का काम इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसीज का है, दिल्ली पुलिस का है। दैट इज गोइंग ऑन वेरी वेल। जहां तक बहुत सी चीजें हैं जो पब्लिक डोमेन में नहीं होती, सोशल मीडिया पर नहीं होती, तो वो तमाम चीजें पुलिस की फाइल्स में है। जब वो चार्जशीट आएगी
The
उसमें तमाम
revelations
चीजों
which
का
are being made by Aftab is going to help the police collect scientific evidence, and that's what they need in the
Exactly.
court of law. That's a very pertinent
Exactly.
point, and we wanted to explain that, really lay it bare, thread by thread, really, for our viewers. Before we take this further, Advocate Shravish Rain, when we look at proving the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt in the court of law, we already have a confession by the man. Obviously, in such cases, people try to get away with a lighter sentence by trying to say that it was a passion crime, it was committed at the heat of the moment, I didn't intend to do it. But look at the details which are now emanating. The fact that not only does this man, hack his girlfriend into multiple pieces, keeps a dismembered body in his fridge for days, he takes that ring which belonged to his former lover and gives it to a new paramour. More details coming in, knives being recovered, more and more body parts, we believe a jaw also has now been recovered by the police. All of this, do you think, is going to help the police strengthen their case and also prove in the court of law beyond reasonable doubt that it wasn't just a crime committed in the heat of the moment, it was a pre-planned murder, thus needing the most exemplary punishment?
Of course, looking at all the statements that is there on the media, someone could easily say that this case would fall under the rarest of rare cases. If you remember, there was one Tandoor murder case that happened around 20-25 years back. So this is after 20-25 years, similar matter has come up, and even that case also back then fell under the rarest of rare cases, wherein the person was imprisoned for 20 years. So even here also looking at the case, the situation would be similar. But looking at the case that wherein the person is now behind the bars and in Tihar jail, so in Tihar jail he would be in touch with many other such kind of inmates who have been behind the bars for a very long time in the murder case and all. And there the life is slightly different. There they all talk that what all mistakes they have done. So of course someone would give them some input that you kind of change your statement so that it could be proved that you are slightly mentally ill or something like that, wherein your sentence would be instead of a death or more than 20-25 years, the imprisonment could go little less. But yes, the way police is acting, the narco test that has happened, but yet the documents are not out yet. So this seems that the police are doing very well, and we all are waiting that a very stricter punishment is given in this matter.
Well, yes, absolutely. And the core is really for justice for Shraddha is also growing in the country. Dr. Pankaj Kumar, what does, this tell you about the depravity of the mind of the accused? I mean, the initial details which had come in were already making all of us sick to the stomach. But now, more and more shocking and disturbing revelations are coming to the fore with each passing day. Now, the polygraph test basically shows that the man planned this murder, wanted to hack her. He says he has no remorse. In fact, some sources even suggesting that he now believed rather that after killing his girlfriend, he would perhaps go to heaven, be united with hundreds of females. I mean, these are really, really bizarre and absurd thoughts, to say the least. What does this really tell you about the psychological condition really of Aftab?
Yes, indeed, it's really shocking and bizarre. I would agree to that. But as you know, I have repeatedly again in my past interviews on different channels and this channel also on this case only, it doesn't seem to be done in a passion or just out of impulse. It seems to be more of a hardcore criminal thought process. It seems to be a person who has planned everything to the minute of the detail. He has zeroed down everything. He has repeatedly reenacted the act in his mind n number of times to make it foolproof and to get away with that. So it doesn't seem to be an act of passion or that thing. But that crime, that law is taking its own course. They will prove that whenever the matter comes to court. But this is a psychological point of view that's been seen. And coming back to polygraph test, as lightly said, it's a test. It's in layman term, it's called a lie detector test. It is done with some psychological things are tested: heartbeat, pulse rate, skin conductivity. Different questions are asked, and they are monitored on computer and different instruments. And seen on that, the variation told whether the person is telling lie or a truth. And the around 80 to 85% of lie detector test tells us the right thing. That is its intensity. Coming back to his psychology, you said the amount of answers he given on the hood and all those things, he will get a hood. It points to a radicalization. I don't want to bring up that point in this review, but probably there is a hint he could have been mind-washed by certain radical thought process, which we have heard in past, also in different people's mindset. So probably he may be believing certain mindset, some certain ideology, and he is acting on that. And media has also revealed he had contacted more than 20, he was getting more than 20 Hindu girls specifically, and that too on an online dating app. He may have own agendas on which he is probably working. I said in the past episodes also, there is a possibility of he is a habitual offender. Police need to go into his past also and bring out if there is only the victim of the person or there are many more victims of the person. These type of person has psychology who has hardcore psychology. They crime is very small to them. They have a history of crime, repeated crime, and they enjoy their act. They enjoy killing the victim. Gives them
okay, so was it sadistic mentality? Was it sadism? Was it radicalization? The speculations are rife, but end of the day, Yogita Bayana, how do we make women feel safer? What do you think needs to be done in the case? Most exemplary punishments. I'm even asking for the death penalty. Again, opinions always are divided when it comes to capital punishment, but what do you think really? A very strict and exemplary punishment, and also it's very important in this case that it has to be meted out in a time bound manner. It just cannot drag on for years altogether, and that's when when justice is not really served in a expeditious and time bound manners, that's when it breaks really the morale of the girls and emboldens criminals perhaps lurking amidst us, criminals with such depraved mentality like Aftab Poonawalla.
So we want capital punishment, nothing less than that for this monster, for sure. And time-bound manner, yes, this is what we've been asking for, vouching for so many years. But what will be the fate of this case when Kiran Negi, our daughter of Uttarakhand, we call her Anamika also, her culprits got death penalty in session court, high court, Supreme Court set them free last few days ago. They're out, they're amongst us. what will be the fate? Where there was a little, difference or maybe circumstantial evidence, there was some suspicious thing court had. As on that suspicion itself, they set them free. I don't know what will be the fate of Shraddha.
Yes.
Whether she'll get justice or not, because here finding evidence is such a important and such difficult task for the cops. Sir is here, he will explain better, and he has explained very well.
Yes.
But tell me, when we had 99 out of 100, 99 proofs, still we saw that after 11 years of wait, 11 years of struggle by the family, I have my doubts, because this system has failed our daughters every single day. So I have my apprehensions about Shraddha getting justice. However, I want each and every daughter of this country to get justice. Not only Shraddha, because there is a communal angle or wherever radical angle, I don't know.
Yes. So
about that. But every daughter deserves justice in this country. Unfortunately, even I'm not saying particularly you, but media also pick up the cases where there is some angle of communalism or something like that. But why not? Everybody is talking about Kiran's case. Why nobody is talking about
No. I think you're wrong here. I mean, we did take up, the Chadda rape case, for example, where you said that, in a very similar case, accused had been freed by the Supreme Court, and it was taken up by the media for days altogether. Even in the Nirbhaya case, the victim and the accused both belong to the same community. So I think it's sort of unfair to blame the media really for picking and choosing or cherry picking only cases with a palpable and possible communal color. In fact, this story also was picked right in the beginning because of the gruesome and shocking nature. But Barkhat Rehan, I believe you have very strong opinions. You believe it's not a passion of crime. You have mentioned it on your Twitter timeline as well as to how you believe that there is a hint and element of radicalization as well. Why would you say that? Can you please elaborate on that as well?
Yeah, firstly, I'd like to thank NewsX, because they have always picked up Shraddha murder case or other cases from the first day. I have seen you guys discussing each and everything without any biasness. Now we come back to the point here, which we were discussing. This is a murder, a full planned murder. We are not giving any communal angle. What is right? Let's call a spade a spade. It's as simple as that. It is a cold-blooded, pre-planned murder, and where Aftab, everybody on the panel agrees with me that Aftab should be hanged till death. In the rarest of rare case, I do ask for death penalty. And this one is one without bringing any angle into it. We want justice for Shraddha. As Aftab said in the polygraph test, that he will go to heaven after killing Shraddha, where he will meet whores. What nonsense is this? Isn't this radicalization? Who tells these boys that they will get whores if they murder a Hindu girl? So this is not acceptable by anyone of any religion. I believe we should strongly support and ask for justice for Shraddha. Not even one angle should differ. No angle, nothing. Straightforward. Let's be straightforward and ask, because I have a doubt that he'll again scot-free, because he's again and again bringing the angle of that I was in a fit of anger, I did it, and many people are coming in his support. You see the big Bindi brigade, the placard brigade, the Bollywood brigade.
Ma'am, I don't think anyone is supporting Aftab. I don't think anyone is supporting Aftab, at least. I mean, opinions mostly are divided, but supporting Aftab, I personally really have not seen that. If advocate, let's bring in Ved Bhushan, former ACP, also into this conversation. Ved Bhushan, sir, the revelations are quite disturbing. But do you think, by mentioning radicalism, perhaps even a possible love jihad angle, are we also sort of moving away from the basic crime that's a crime against a woman? The gruesome nature of the crime. Where do you really stand on, the sort of allegations which are also now coming to the fore, the speculation perhaps of there being an element of radicalism really as far as Aftab's motives were concerned?
मीनाक्षी, जो दिल्ली पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है उसमें लव जिहाद नाम का कहीं भी वर्ड अभी तक नहीं आया है।
Exactly.
देयर इज नो सेक्शन, नो क्रिमिनल सेक्शन ऑफ लव जिहाद टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स। दीज आर जो अपना डिफरेंट जो अपनी ओपिनियन है वो हो सकती है, पर पुलिस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन कहीं भी लव जिहाद या लव एंगल पर कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं की जा रही। जो भी फैक्ट्स इन्वेस्टिगेशन में आ रहे हैं, जो मर्डर से रिलेटेड है, जो 201 जो उसने एविडेंस को रिमूव करने की कोशिश की है, पुलिस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन केवल वहां तक है। किसी भी पुलिस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन में, किसी भी मीडिया में अब तक ये नहीं आया कि दिल्ली पुलिस किसी लव जिहाद के एंगल से इस केस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है। डिफरेंट टाइप, कल आपने देखा आफ्ताब के ऊपर हिंदू सेना वालों ने आकर अटैक कर दिया, फला ने ये कह दिया, उसने ये कह दिया, बट एज फार एज द पुलिस इज कंसर्न there is no such investigation is going on like love jihad and other issues, related issues. For police investigation, he is a murderer of Shraddha, and whatever the scientific evidences are required for investigation to prove this case, police are doing very well and going ahead. Over to you.
Well, absolutely. As of now, that love jihad angle, that's something which
No.
the police has not confirmed at all, and there's no mention of it. Advocate Shamshravi Srain, where do you stand really on this discussion? Because some of the revelations, at least, they're all source-based. There's yet really, to be an official confirmation on the same. But if at all these revelations and source-based information is to be believed, far as Aftab is concerned, his alleged and perhaps possible sort of acceptance in his polygraph test, that he believed that he would be united, quote unquote, as sources say, with hoods, that he was deliberately targeting and only wanting to date Hindu girls. If at all, as I said and I repeat, this information is true, do you think that is also a very serious angle which should perhaps be probed further?
Well, yes, if this angle should be probed, because according to me, again, as I said, he went behind the bars, he spoke to other inmates over there, and that's when he gathered that how I could make myself sound little, mentally little sick. That would lead to my imprisonment becoming little less. It could lead to something else. But here, according to court, if the documents are leaked, wherein you are asking this question over here, which shows that few of the documents have been leaked, this would eventually lead to the prosecution case will become slightly less powerful over there, because when the document is out on the media, it's in the public platform, it becomes a document which will not be taken into consideration. So this would eventually lead to him setting free. So here, everything, unless and until the documents are completely submitted in the
Yes,
court,
so are we jumping?
and from court, the documents come
Yes,
outside.
so
That is when,
right, Barkha, and Barkha, if you could come in here, are we jumping to this conclusion that there is a possible radicalism or a love jihad angle? Because all of this as of now is unsubstantiated, source-based information. The police has not mentioned the word at all, really, till now.
Whether police mentions it or not, it is 200% there is a love jihad angle. There's no second thought about it. But I would like to bring in one thing more here.
Can I differ here?
Yesterday
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And I'll come to you, Yogita. Let her finish her point. Yes.
Yesterday only we have come to know that there was a man, a father, who was murdered by the wife and the son in Pandavnagar. Are we even discussing that on any channel? Are we even empathetic towards men when men are murdered? My heart.
No, ma'am, I'm really sorry. You are making it a men versus women issue. I'm sorry. It was a top debate of almost every channel. We debated it, and so did other channels also. If you did, manage to see the newspapers, it was one of the top stories because it was a grisly murder. But yes, when it comes to crime against women, the ratio is much higher. The grisly nature of the crime, the fact that these two were former lovers, that all of that, was extremely shocking, and which is why it grabbed national headlines. But Yogita Bayana, you wanted to counter Barkha there. You feel there is no love jihad angle. As of now, would you say that those speaking about it or hinting at it, jumping to conclusion a little too early in the day?
See, I see these cases day and night. At least 7 to 8 such cases come to me every month similar brutality, similar kind of things. I'm dealing with similar cases where the boyfriends, they have stabbed their girlfriends and they are struggling, and there is no angle of other religion or something like that. So once in a while, if something happens of that kind of nature where the girl is from another religion or boy is from another religion, why do we bring in that angle always when these people? I'm sorry, we will differ here. Barkha is saying there is a love jihad. What about those cases? Can you name them also? Can you give them some definition to such cases also? What is that called? Lover jihad?
I would
or what do you
strongly
want to say
agree
that?
to what Yogita is saying. What Barkha said is absolutely wrong. Every time quoting everything that it is love jihad is
case
actually
you are
No,
not
also
love
as I
jihad.
said, it was something which was this angle was first brought to the fore, or the allegation came from the side of the father. But again, it's for the investigative agencies to reach that conclusion. That's something which we all should refrain from. But Dr. Kumar, would you say that also, by discussing this angle, we're also moving away really from the nature of the crime, the criminal mentality of Aftab, and that should be really the focus. The fact that how he had planned, this crime with utmost dexterity. It was very obviously, now with the details emerging, it looks like a premeditated murder, not really a crime of passion, and it shows a very sadistic mentality, and that sort of mentality needs perhaps the most exemplary punishment. Do you still feel that there is any hope and scope of rehabilitation in such hardened criminals?
No,
I just want to add here. First of all, I just want to add here. Yeah, agreeing to you what you said. There is another angle to it which we should also try to put in focus on, as he is a very clever person, and polygraphy test is not 100% sure and true. That all of us know. And there are evidences where people of high IQ and very clever persons are trained to really pass that and make fool out of it. So it probably can be a very clever attempt for him to divert the whole angle towards a different angle, and to confuse law and the court and the police. And ultimately, there is a section in our society, we all know, who probably will have emotional attachment to this person when this angle comes up. So probably he may be trying to put up their emotion, charging them emotionally, and trying to stand up with him and supporting him, because till date nobody is supporting him, no religion supporting him, because all are on the same page. It is a hardcore crime, and he should be hanged. He should be given hanged till death. Probably that is laws to take the own course. But yes, and coming to your question, these type of persons, they're rare. We don't have really much options left for their rehabilitation. The law should take its own course and deal it with the harshest possible way.
Well, absolutely. The most exemplary punishment, harshest punishment, the need of the hour. Shocking revelations coming each passing day, of course, making the case even more gruesome than it already was. Of course, these revelations, while they're making us sick to the core, end of the day, the need of the hour is to ensure that the accused in the case is dealt with an iron hand, gets the most exemplary punishment. End of the day, it has to be set as an example. The punishment also has to be given in a time-bound manner to ensure that such grisly crime against women are stemmed really in the bud. That was the moot point of the debate. As of now, I thank all the experts who joined us on this extremely riveting conversation.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.